marked it as well, so they're quite happy for that. There's no advantage or disadvantage to the fact they're not there. It's exactly the same criteria, etc., etc. They will be treated in exactly the same way. But thank you very much for staying so long and being so patient. Thank you.
Vaughan Cunningham to appraise him right down to his little liberal slippers.
He was damned good.
The post-war crisis in art and life, collapse in faith of public values, nothing to do but to turn to personal relations, avoid politics at all costs.
There's much more to it than that.
Oh yes. Damn the old, damn the poor, damn the unemployed, the children with rickets, the miners coughing their lungs up. Oh, and please don't mention the boring old means test to me. I'm not a writer.
That's just stupid. What he said was...
It is the act of the civilized man in a time of public turmoil to turn to the private life. What I recommend is letter writing. Put up a cosy chaise longue and settle down to the composition of a minor masterpiece, full of spice and semicolons and little insights between dashes, to one of the dearest of one's dear, dear friends. Someone you can trust so that he might show it to all his dear, dear friends, then file it away for posterity. Oh, but keep a copy oneself. It would be all too sad if posterity were to be denied the shabby, smelly, morally putrid contents of the Victorian wickerwork waste pig basket one is pleased, nay delighted to call one's mark.
Oh, shut up! Oh, Lord, hasn't he started even?
Who? Water. Started what?
Laying Devenish to bring his uncle to tea with you.
What?
Fast course instructions.
Bringing him here?
Even here.
But I'm what?
Then you must stop.
God almighty.
If you play your cards right, he may even put you in his weekly column. Schoolboy communist is a sign of the times. Must be worth a paragraph at least. Shall we tidy up a bit?
No, I'm work.
All work and no play.
I want to be dull. Can't you understand? Revolution is made by dull people doing dull things with tremendous thoroughness and discipline.
But once the revolution comes, they're heroes of the people, not to say commissars. You can be boring if you try. Dull, not boring.
Thanks a lot.
Don't you bore yourself sometimes being a prophet in the wilderness?
It's only one more turn.
I want to talk to you about that, actually. Oh God, jam on this notebook. Must be better.
The answer is no.
I wish you'd reconsider.
I wish you'd let me work.
Rhind-Tutt, the scourge of the school. You must feel pretty isolated.
I've never felt anything but lonely since the day I got here. The same faces day after day, and none I ever want to see again.
You will be even more isolated next term. You're also going to make life jolly awkward for the rest of us.
Hard cheese.
Look, I'm not asking you to do anything you don't want to do. Just go through the motions. Dorms, prep duty, roll call, nothing really.
Menzies? Have you the makings of a politician in you?
I'm merely speaking as one friend to another.
You have? Well, well, what would Vaughan Cunningham say? Personal relations poisoned by political ambition.
Well, when you get power, however little it may be, you find it yourself. You can't always keep private and public things apart.
In this country you can't. The British ruling class is totally corrupt. In a common society, personal feelings are entirely irrelevant.
Not even you can actually believe that. We are friends, aren't we?
I really don't know. Are we? We've known each other for a quarter of our lives. I don't actually dislike you. I don't suppose you actually dislike me. But I don't know if Vaughan Cunningham would consider 4 years of mutual toleration as friendship quarrels.
Damn Vaughan Cunningham, I want you to be one of my prefects.
Your prefect? How very proprietary.
Oh, Wolfman, good.
What do you want?
Delay, please.
You can't.
Judd,
I'm on second library. No one's informed me officially about this tea.
come on.
I wasn't even consulted.
I couldn't find you to consult you. Besides, it's fast course instructions.
Please, Judd.
Do what you bloody well like. Just don't disturb me. I'm working.
Judd!
Go on, lay away, lay away.
Thank you.
Ooh, cucumber sandwiches. How posh.
Hey,
Well, they're meant to be eaten, aren't they?
but they're all arranged.
I'll take another one to balance it out. There, no one will notice. I'm sorry, it's just being angry makes me hungry. So now the old lecture gets the chance to corrupt our bodies as well as our minds.
There's to be no corruption. That's why I'm there.
Oh, you won't be able to stop it. One look at our fresh pink faces and those palsied hands will scurry right to our fresh pink
Judd.
knees, Menzies. Knees. Watch out for those crowds, they'll give a fearful nip.
Excuse me, Judd.
Yes?
Shall I bring the tea now or wait?
Make it now.
But then it may get cold.
Then wait.
But then it may not have time to brew.
And we won't notice, we'll be far too busy being impressed.
Shall I make it then or not?
I think you should do whatever's most likely to make you least anxious, Ward.
Well,
Wait, Ward.
thank you, Menzies.
Whatever you do when you go up, don't go in for catering.
Of course I will. We've been in Timmins since 1773.
That poor child. Don't you know he talks in his sleep? What is his dog about? Come here, fetch, sit, good dog. And all day long he is the wretched dog. So anxious to please he's practically wetting himself, not to cause displeasure rather.
Well, I follow the Berkeley line. The less anxiety, the better.
The system built on force on fear must be maintained in the last resort by force and fear.
And we must see the last resort is never reached, mustn't we?
Oh yes, you're a good mild moderate. Given a proper education, you could have turned out quite a useful member of society.
Thanks.
It's too late now, though. You'll have to go.
By the time you finish, will there be anyone left?
The whole country will be there.
Dear me.
Oh, pay no attention. That's Judd, our tame communist.
Not too tame, I trust.
And this is Menzies. He's a prefect, but we let him in here sometimes, as he's not too bad.
How do you do, Menzies?
How do you do, sir?
So this is where you fellows sit, is it?
It's where we work between interruptions.
Ah, but aren't all interruptions welcome? They are with me.
Ignore him. He's always like that.
Are you? Brusque and uncompromising. How splendid. He works 16 hours a day if we let him. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. When people claim to be working for other people's good, it always means their own, don't you think? Well, and if you really are working, we mustn't disturb you.
That's all right. We don't get a bang-up brew like this every day.
And it's worth putting up with almost anything for a bang-up room. How I remember. Are you looking for a scholarship?
When I'm allowed to.
Oxford or Cambridge?
Cambridge.
Ah, there always was one for the Puritans.
Take that, Judd.
But it was. All those tiresome people who gave Queen Elizabeth a hard time. And nothing seems to have changed. I have a nephew at King's. Which college are you going to?
Trinity.
Ah, but he's rather too social for you, Wright. And you're rather too socialist for him. He says everything's drearily political these days. No fun at all.
No.
When I was an apostle, it was all G.E. Moore. The pleasures of human intercourse and the enjoyment of beautiful objects. Some of us said, why not combine the two and enjoy the pleasures of intercourse with beautiful human objects? But that was before the war, when it was still all right to make jokes. Flippancy is very much frowned on now, one hears.
Well, one must certainly hope so, mustn't it?
Did you know G. Moore personally, sir? Did I? I do. He's still quite a young man. Well, one's ideas of youth and age become more flexible as one grows older. Still, he's in his 50s. The greatest single influence on my life. Greater than Jesus Christ. Greater than even the Kaiser.
Come in. Oh, thanks, Wharton.
Shall I bring the muffins now?
Don't ask me, it's not my party.
Yes, please. Did he say muffins? How wonderful. And look at all those sandwiches. You certainly do yourselves well. I hope no one missed my lecture to prepare them.
Naturally.
How very kind.
It wasn't kind, he was told to.
Well, how very kind of someone to tell him, and how very kind of him to obey. And who's this?
I'm sorry I'm late, sir. Bennett. Guy Bennett. I was arguing with some people about your lecture. I couldn't get away. I thought you said it was absolutely illuminating.
Thank you. One might think one raises the blind a little. Let's have a cheap, a little more.
Let's sit, shall we? Uncle Vaughan, you sit here.
You little turkey.
Shut up and sit.
dark and dreary adolescence is. Confusion of mind was confounded by utter confusion of body. Even one's voice betrays one, one's passion so random. Cricket scores 1 minute, Swinburne the next. I don't suppose any of you read Swinburne.
I'm afraid not, sir.
Not a set, though.
Nor do I now. But when I was your age, could you hurt me, sweet lips, though I hurt you? Men touch them and change in a trice, the lilies and languors of virtue, for the raptures and roses of vice. Wow, that's rather what we thought at the time. We were sensationally innocent. The very word vice was enough to make us blush. Now I suppose you say fuck and bugger the whole time. Oh, it was the Devenish.
What? His name's Wharton, sir.
Thank you, Wharton. Thank you very much.
Is there anything else?
No thanks. Thanks, Wharton.
Curious little man, Swinburne. A nerve. Wonderful red hair, but the head too big for the body. The sordid truth will come out eventually, I suppose.
What sort of truth is that, sir?
He never got over being swished at Eton. Obsessed with it all his life. Harold Nicholson makes out it's all exaggerated, but it's not. I've seen some of the letters and I can tell you, hot stuff.
Why would Mr. Nicholson want to conceal it, sir?
No ambition, wouldn't you think? One doesn't get in on the Foreign Office by publishing dirt about eminent men of letters. Mild scandal, yes, but not dirt.
But why does he write about Swinburne at all? So awful.
If you ask me, he's secretly intrigued. He started with Verlaine, then Tennyson, then Byron. There's a lot of very thin ice there. Of course, Harold's very nippy on his skates. But I rather think we'll find him giving up literature now he's going into politics. One can get away with much more in the FO than you can in the House of Commons.
I'm going into the FO.
Are you? Well, it's an excellent way of seeing the world if you can stand all the ghastly dinners with the other diplomats.
I hadn't thought of that.
Have another ghastly muffin.
No, thank you.
What did you mean about Tennyson, sir?
Tennyson.
I thought he was terribly respectable.
Arthur Allen, in memoriam. They were both apostles in the early days, you know.
Oh dears, no one's reputation is safe.
Well, I've always said it was complete nonsense about Queen Victoria and John Brown. Is there much swishing here these days?
Ceaseless. Practically none, sir.
I must say, one doesn't recall it nearly so stimulating as Swinburne says.
As a matter of fact, I'm thinking of doing away with it in this house altogether. I'm head of house next term.
It's odd.
What's this?
As an experiment.
Well,
Well, we must talk about it. I shall have to have the cooperation of my prefects.
you've got mine already.
Look here, you can't just spring on us out of the blue like this. It's not time or place.
Donald, don't tell me you saw Pop the beating of little boys' bar.
Of course not. But I don't see any point in change. Change is safe.
But this would be for the sake of the bums.
I think there's rather more to it than that, sir. It's not just the pain given, there's also the pleasure of the one doing the beating.
Really? I have no idea.
Menzies, you've been opening books again. You mustn't do it, you'll start thinking and then where will you be?
If all that stuff's true,
Of course it is.
Haven't you ever seen Fowler's?
Fowler's what?
Fowler's a prefect, sir. He gets excited when he's beating someone.
Dear me.
Uncontrollably sometimes.
Bennett, do you mind?
yes, I'm sure Mr. Cunningham isn't interested.
No, but I am. I'm riveted. I shall write an article.
Don't you dare!
No, I won't mention the school by name. Tell me, what further revelations have you from?
Where shall I start?
Well, some schools have abolished it already.
Only ludicrous places like B-Dales and Dartington Hall. It's all rot. Beating's all right, as long as there aren't bullies.
There always are.
Do you get a thrill from it, Donald?
Of course not. But you know where you are with beating. You do something, you get caught, that's 3, 4, 6 strokes depending, and then it's over. It's short and it's sharp.
And it's savage.
I thought communists were all for discipline.
Discipline, yes. Barbarism, no.
Well, since you're not going to be a prefect, what you think makes no difference. Luckily.
Oh dear, have you offended authority with your revolutionary views?
I refuse to collaborate with a system of repression.
Splendid, I am impressed.
You're meant to be.
You're so corrupt. You can't believe anyone could actually do something on principle, can you?
Are you, Donald?
I know showing off when I see it. Judd doesn't realise he's here to learn, not teach.
You'll never learn, not to then put you in front of a firing squad.
Oh dear, is there no hope for him at all?